So here we are, the Oodassault rifle. Um, don't know if that's an appropriate name, if I could even use that, because these two things look nothing alike. But the primary function of these two is based on their magazines and clip usage. So I think it's a fair adaptation, um, even if it is disgustingly different. Um, that's going to bother me if I don't fix that. But, yeah, so we have the 45-degree angle grip. Strangely comfy. Typically, I hate 45-degree angle grips, especially 5-layer ones, but actually really comfy, so that's cool. Whereas on my gun, I have a 3-layer grip. I should probably put black wheel caps on these like I normally do, make it more comfy. Otherwise, you have rods sticking in your hand. But yeah, this gun was mainly built for strength and the ability to use a pin guide. This this stock is really strong here. 5 layers, and within the middle layer is just white connectors connected all the way down. I could have made this insanely strong by adding blue rods there and there, but didn't need to be too strong because I wasn't going to overload it. This gun has a lot of power as is with just one rubber band. If I were to get really serious about this, I would probably have a slider mechanism, so a piece that I could grab onto to just slide this back along the pin guide, and then I would probably use like super glue to connect this one slot connector with the Y rod that is in there. That's how the pin guide functions. But yeah, this thing shoots really nicely. Currently, it doesn't lock back all that well by itself, but yeah, I came up with this solution to kind of work. So you can just slide that in there, and it hooks on a green connector in there. The tan rod does so. And then it utilizes almost an identical version of the magazine from the Oodassault 3.10, and then locks back just like normal, accepts a clip. I'll go ahead and shoot that in a different video so that you can see that it does shoot, and it does shoot well. I just don't want to make this one video too long just showing off the gun itself. I went ahead and oops, oh yeah, you can turn that into a single shot when you've ran out of all ammunition. Just run up on them and just shoot the mag pusher at them. Anyways, going on to the inner mechanisms of this rifle. So I mocked up a version of it. This is the pin guide right here. Let me just grab a red rod here to show the ramrod. So this is a really interesting trigger mechanism that I have mounted on the Oodassault rifle. I guess that's what I'm going to call it. Just kind of using that because I don't have a better name for it at the moment. This is actually a reverse trigger mechanism, so instead of pulling it, you push it. Super weird, super strange, but I wanted to keep it clean and not use broken parts because I know that's part of who the Dunkus is, as I remember from the forums and in his instructables. Didn't like to use broken pieces, so I was trying to keep this clean. And really, this was the best solution I could come up with. Really strange trigger mechanism. So in order to get pulled out of the way, this orange rod here has to be pushed down. So in order to do that, got stuck up here. That's awkward. Okay, this doesn't happen in the actual gun, but what happened was the black rod started to fall down into the crease down there, but that doesn't happen when you have 5 layers and this is all put together correctly. So when you're pulling the trigger, or pushing rather in this case, you're doing that, so that action there creates the push down on the orange rod. You might ask why I didn't use spacers on each side, but that's because, I don't know if you can tell from this video, the black rod isn't exactly 3 layers, it's more like 2.5, so spacers would just fall off inside of the gun, so that was no good. So I did have to use a gray or purple 1-slot connector there. And then coming up with an access point for this was really hard too, because I tried using a snowflake, a white connector here, and just putting it in the middle. Didn't want to work out. It pushed too far this way, and then it conflicted with the mounting of the pin guides. So I had to get a little inventive, and I don't know if you can see exactly what's going on here. Here, let me grab another blue connector to show you. But so you see it's just like sitting there within the valley of the blue connector. So if I were to just snap this on here, it just kind of sits within there. Yeah, so pretty cool. It can't come out of there after it's implanted. It's pretty solid in there. So yeah, really interesting trigger mechanism. That was honestly the hardest part behind designing this gun, was the trigger mechanism, but it's pretty cool. It's reverse, so I mean, kind of stupid, but hey, whatever works, right? Anyways, this is a really long video, so I'm gonna cut it here.